my shorts.
Here's a little bit of movie news announcements and stuff, and then we'll get to subscriber questions. Indiana Jones is back.
Oh, no.
This is one that has been like...
Leave it alone.
This has been like a long gestating thing for ages where it's like, oh, it's happening, but when it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
There's a term in Hollywood, apparently. I just read the book written by Rob Paulson, who's a voice actor. Did just Animaniacs and like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and just dozens of things. And he referred to that because Animaniacs was produced by Steven Spielberg. There's this term in Hollywood which is called Steven time or Spielberg time.
Spielberg time.
There will be projects that are in the works, but they're on Spielberg time, which means they're happening, but they happen when Spielberg decides he gets around to it because he's got so much on. I'll get around to it. So when they were told about the Animaniacs reboot, they were told this is happening. But it's going to happen on Spielberg time. Yeah. Gosh. And then it was like ages until that reboot actually got rolling.
That right, hasn't he?
Oh, exactly right. He's earned it at this point. So this is a movie that's been on Spielberg time for quite a while. Years they've been talking about it. Spielberg's not even attached as a director anymore. He dropped out a while ago because it was gone through multiple like scripts. They've had like multiple screenwriters come in and done various versions of it. Obviously nothing that Spielberg was really passionate about. And he dropped out a while ago. James Mangold is going to be directing this. He directed Logan, Ford v Ferrari, 310 to Yuma, Walk the Line, Copland. So he's directed some really good stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of keen to see what like kind of gritty edge he can bring to an Indiana Jones film. Very disappointed Spielberg's not there though.
Isn't it?
Well, yeah, the fucking last one was dreadful, wasn't it? So that's why I'm like in two minds. I'm like, God, I hated that last one.
But it was okay halfway through.
Yeah, it was great for half of it.
And then the fucking spaceship appears and I just thought, oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, awful. So I don't know. I'm in two minds. I didn't like the last one. I'm a little bit off about Spielberg not being involved as a director, but I love James Mangold's stuff. So I'm going to, obviously, we'll give it a shot. Harrison Ford is back. Sure. This is probably the last time he'll be playing Indiana Jones, I'd imagine.
How old would he be now?
He would. I don't even know. Well, it'd have to be at least. Let's have a look. Harrison Ford, age 78 years. I share a birthday with him almost. And he was born 1942, so he'll be 79 this year. Yeah.
God.
So this will be the last time he plays Indiana Jones.
I think so.
Because they haven't filmed it. They haven't rolled cameras. I imagine they'll start rolling very soon. Not to be ageist or anything, but like this guy's going into his 80s.
Oh, exactly right.
So by the time they've rolled this and by the time it's out, it's July 29, 2022. He'll be 80 by the time that movie's out and by the time they start thinking about another movie. And look at the gap between this one and the last one, like 15 years or whatever it is. This guy can't be doing Indiana Jones at 85 years old.
It'd have to be his son or grandson or something. To take
well, they tried to do that with Shia LaBeouf in the last one. They tried to like set him up as the next and that never happened. But anyway, we talk about this because they've just announced that Phoebe Waller-Bridge is going to be part of it. She's going to be like the female lead of the movie. You would have seen her in Fleabag. She did a voice in Solo. We haven't watched Fleabag, but she's the lead star in that. I've got a picture of her there. You might recognize her. She's been in stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Solo, a Star Wars story. She did a voice in. She was in Goodbye Christopher Robin, Man Up, which was that film with Simon Pegg. She's done a bunch of TV stuff. So we've just seen her bits and pieces. She's very good. Apparently Fleabag is fantastic. People love it. So it's like
we don't have it
show. Don't have it, no. I think it might be on Netflix or one of the streaming things.
I think it's one that I don't think you can get it on Blu-ray, can you? Yeah,
I think only DVD. I've seen the DVD. I don't know if you can get the Blu-ray though. But apparently it's very, very good. I like her. I like her stuff. So I'm keen for that. And even though we don't have Spielberg on board, we've got John Williams is back. Now this is a man who's been so prolific, and he just pumps out scores left, right, and centre. You know how old he is now?
Maybe 80-something?
89.
Wow.
He turned 89 this year. He's
still working. Good on him.
Yeah. Fucking good on him.
Good on him.
His scores are as good as ever. Yeah. He did all the last Star Wars, the last trilogy.
Well, he writes to a formula. Really,
right, exactly right, yeah.
So once you write to a formula, you're not going to get it wrong.
But Jesus, imagine that. Like 90 years old, you're still writing music like that.
Yeah.
And those scores for the last 3 Star Wars films were terrific. And like even creating like new themes and new motifs and stuff, incredible. Like Rey's theme from The Force Awakens obviously carries through this. He's like one of the best Star Wars themes ever written. And this guy is incredible. So he's going to be back. Now he's come out and said he's not doing any more Star Wars films ever again. That's it. So I imagine Indiana Jones will probably be his last, like Indiana Jones, obviously, whether they do another one ever again. But this guy's earned his retirement, but he obviously just loves doing what he's doing.
Could you imagine having done what he does his whole life? Like he would have been, in his 20s when he started, probably. So he's done it for the best part of 60, 70 years. Could you imagine the understanding of the structure of music he would have?
Well, this guy, right, if you look at his... I was looking at this not long ago, and because he's done all the work with Spielberg and Lucas and all that shit, you look at, like, as prolific a director as Steven Spielberg is, like, you look back at the films that this guy has scored, right? So I'm here on IMDb. He's scored 155 films. In the space of like 1974 to like 1980 alone, he did the soundtracks for Jaws, Superman the movie, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Dracula, 1941, Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T., just in that space of like not even 10 years.
Yeah.
Incredible stuff. Wow. Incredible brain on this guy. And he does most of Spielberg's films, of course, and he did all the like main Star Wars films, and just incredible. So it's going to be great to have him back. And obviously, I was supposed to see him in concert.
Yeah, that's right.
This is one of those things I will always be so devastated about. He did a concert at the Albert Hall in London while I was over there, and Alicia couldn't get tickets for me when they first went up, but she rang them and was like, is there any way I can get tickets for John Williams? And they're like, well, closer to the date, we'll open more tickets up, basically. She's like, on the QT, on the down low. So when it got closer to it, she rang again and said, are there any more tickets available? And, of course, people like return tickets and stuff, so more stuff. They were like, call back tomorrow. Tomorrow morning at certain time, call back. We're going to have more tickets on sale. So we rang back like first thing in the morning, secured tickets. I was like, oh, my God. I was thinking this is going to be the best night of my life. I was like, he was going to be doing all his, like, the themes from all these films. I was thinking, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be fucking loving it. Star Wars, E.T., Superman, Back to the Future. Not Back to the Future, but fucking just all those fucking huge films that I grew up with. I'm going to be there. Indiana Jones, want to be there. He's going to be playing them all. He got sick.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he got ill, and he couldn't come out, unfortunately, which is very, very sad.
Yeah.
You can't be angry or annoyed about it because the guy was sick, and he's, as we said, he's like nearly 90 years old, but it was just like, oh, man, so sad.
Opportunity lost.
But like, he couldn't travel. He was sick and couldn't travel, which you can understand. They did still do the show, but they had another composer come out and do it, and they offered you can either go and see it or you can return your tickets. I considered it, but I was like, it wouldn't be the same. It's not the same, though. And I was thinking I would not have, because they turned into like a tribute to John Williams, a night for John Williams, and I was thinking I would not have purchased the tickets if that's what it was from the beginning.
Yeah, exactly right.
And I knew
it's like going to see, an Elvis Presley impersonator.
Yeah, exactly right. Show. Yeah. And I was thinking, like, I would be sitting there the whole night going, this should have been John Williams. But I've played in bands before, like symphonic bands at school and shit. And I understand that under a different composer, no matter, even if the music's written the same on a page, a different composer can conduct that music very differently to another one. And I was just thinking, like, even if it's minor differences, you would just know this is not John Williams. So we passed on the tickets, and they played on the radio. Actually, they did like a live stream, so we listened to it on the radio. It was nice, but I was like, I'm glad it wasn't. I'm glad it didn't go. But yeah, that was so disappointing.
I don't think it's the first time you've ever said that you were in a symphonic band when you were younger.
I don't know, it might be. Yeah, I played the saxophone for many years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then it was all classical, wasn't it?
It's all classical music, yeah.
And away from that, you were doing jazz.
Jazz, yeah, like jazz, and they didn't like it. They hated that play. I remember playing, like, doing a warm up one day, playing Blues Brothers. They came and like took my book off me, like, you can't be playing this here. I was like, what are you doing? They took it off. They're like, we don't like that. There was a jazz band there, but it was like, if you want to play jazz, you got to be on jazz band time.
Yeah,
piss off, guys. And then I wanted to be in the jazz band, but you had to be in the symphonic band and the jazz band. I was like, I don't even have time for symphonic band alone, let alone jazz band as well. So I left the band in the end. Anyway, I haven't picked up the saxophone since, sadly. I reckon I could still play it, though. I reckon I could still play G, A, B, C, D.
I'm going to drag it out.
Yeah, I reckon I could play it. I reckon I could still play it. I can still read music. I can still read print sheet music. Yeah. I guarantee I could still play it saxophone. So yeah, I'm looking. I don't know. There's so much going for this movie, but there's also so much against it. Indiana Jones 5. I don't know. I think it'll be one that I get excited for when it's coming out and you see it.
Anything like the last one, I don't know about it.
Yeah, I know. Oh,
that was just appalling.
It was terrible.
First half was great.
Yeah, and then the aliens come in.
And then the aliens come in. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Hey everyone, if you haven't yet, smash that big old subscribe button up on your screen to keep up to date with all my content, and hit that like button down below. Also, don't forget to check me out on social media, and please consider supporting me over on Patreon for as little as $1 a month for exclusive videos, early access content, and to get your name up on the screen. Thanks again for watching.